last week we talked a little bit about replacing that boiler in the, for lack of a better term, new addition to the courthouse. That boiler is 33, 4 years old. The guy that looked at it, the guy that's replacing the boiler in the original courthouse, looked at it and said that it's outlived its life expectancy. And we talked a little bit about his proposal last week. He was proposing to replace that with 2 Wild McLean boilers for a total of $28,950. There was a couple questions on some of the terminology that he had in his proposal, and I talked to him, and the MBH that he refers to in his proposal is million BTUs per hour. Yeah. What he told me was that the boiler that's there is oversized by about 50%. So what he's proposing to replace that with is a smaller unit, 2 smaller units, but with a higher efficiency rating. And so what he was saying is that his replacements are rated at 96% efficient, where the one that we're looking at downstairs currently is rated at 78%. So the smaller replacement units would be ample to heat that part of the building.
One of the considerations is the chimney. Mm-hmm. And if we go forward with this, our intention is to reduce the height of the chimney or take it down altogether. And we would no longer need the chimney if we do this, correct?
That's correct. The new one that we're putting in, the original courthouse, has its own fresh air intake and exhaust, so it won't use the original chimney. And so the only thing that's left on that chimney then would be the smaller boiler down in the new part.
Do you have a ballpark idea as to what it might cost to do the work on the chimney?
If you're asking me to do it, what I would charge if you couldn't afford it. No, I don't.
Doesn't have to be done right away.
No.
Well, what I was getting at is if you would have an expense of fixing that, which you could subtract off this investment if you don't have to repair it. I mean, the
tuck point
the demolition will be.
It looks. They didn't tuck point it when they did the rest of the courthouse.
No.
I mean, I haven't been up there, but looking at it from the ground, I'm not saying there's loose bricks, but at some point there. Because of the amount, do we need to solicit if the board would decide to go ahead? Because would we have to put this out for bid, just like?
That would be up to you. It's under the amount that requires public bidding process. When we advertised for the replacement on the original courthouse boiler, we got 1 bid. That's the guy that made the proposal on this replacement of the others too. So.
Can we work that into 2 different budgets?
It depends on how soon he gets started. The total package part of it will be paid out of this current budget, and the balance will be paid out of the 2010, 2011.
That's on the new boiler we're putting in right now.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, it depends on how soon he gets started. If he tears this one out and does some of the demolition stuff, we could include that in this year's budget.
Well, the other consideration is you could probably buy, you could pay, if you chose to, you could pay for the unit. And if he didn't get started on the demolition.
As long as it was delivered. We could do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's something to think about.
But if we were to pay part of it out of it, then we have to amend to cover that.
That's true. We really couldn't expend in this
Well,
current.
we have two different line items in that general services budget that we can use.
That you still have some available.
We have some balance in there.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be, we could spend up to the total of those two line items.
As long as we don't go outside this amount.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we ought to consider doing it because I'd hate to have it break down in the middle of winter and take us a month and a half to get heat back in that part of the courthouse.
I just hate to expend money on that chimney if we're not going to use it. I mean, do you want to spend dollars on that chimney to use a 30-some-year-old boiler? I don't think.
You know, sooner or later, both issues have to be addressed. So now, we got money. Not really earmarked, but we have money. We're in a position we can do it. And, I think it's a good time to do it.
And mainly because we won't have to fix the chimney. We have, in the future, that puts both sides of the building on the same schedule of possible replacement, but, which we haven't been before.
Right.
I don't know that that matters so much.
I mean, residential or our property, you know, whenever we put new chimneys in homes, or not new chimneys, new furnaces, new style furnaces, a chimney, next time you shingle the house, whenever it's convenient, you do away with the chimney. A variety of practical reasons, so it's the same logic applies to this project.
I guess are we done with discussion?
I'm done.
I will move to replace the boiler at a cost of $28,150.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the purchase of the boiler. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Proceed with contacting and purchase the boiler. For the time being, there's not going to be any action on the chimney.
Right.
That's till later.
We'll talk about that in the different budget year.